Hi, welcome to an exciting teardown. We've got a solar inverter for you. This is a Deye inverter. It's a Sun 5K SG04LP1AU, the Australian model for those playing along at home. It's a 5 kilowatt hybrid inverter. Yes, I'm going to upgrade my original 3 kilowatt Sunny Boy inverter at home, so stay tuned for future videos on that. But before this gets installed next week, I just wanted to do a teardown. Let's go. This should be exciting. Look at this bad boy. It's a bit of a beast. We've got giant heat sinks on it. So this is, we'll show you the specs, and you'll have to read the specs sideways if you're really interested. Anyway, hybrid inverter, IP65, so, you know, good enough for, you know, outdoor mounting and rain and whatnot. It's a nominal 5 kilowatt inverter, but it can actually do 6,500 watts there, 6.5 kilowatts peak. And the reason I picked this Deye inverter is because it supports a ton of different batteries, so there's no vendor lock-in on your batteries. Anyway, that'll be the subject of future videos, but it supports 5 kilowatts charge and discharge from the battery as well, and also 5 kilowatts into the grid. But as I said, 6.5 kilowatts peak PV solar input, and also it's got an emergency backup load on it as well, which I'm going to utilize. Now, unfortunately, I might have goofed the size in because it says here the PV input power per string is 3250 watts. I've actually got 3.33, I think it is. So I might have to remove a panel from each of my strings. Anyway, oops. And the I/O here, we've got our two PV strings, standard MC4 connectors on the input here. That's nice. Battery input, plus and minus. I think it's 35 square millimeter copper as its rating. It's got two COM ports for the RS485 and CAN for the any battery and other comms. It's got like 4 different cables, so you can basically have 4 weatherproof cables coming out of there. So it does actually come with a Wi-Fi dongle that just plugs into a D9 connector in there and has an antenna sticking out the bottom. I won't show you that today. And one of the most interesting things about this inverter is it's got a generator input. So not, you know, like a diesel generator input, but that also supports inverters, so micro inverters. So in theory, I could actually put all of my N-phase micro inverter system into here, but unfortunately I can't do that in a practical sense because I've already got 5 kilowatts maximum over here, and it's a 5 kilowatt max inverter. But you can actually put micro inverters into the generator input. That is really cool. I haven't seen another, I don't know, leave it in the comments if you've seen another inverter that you've seen can do that. Now, this is the emergency load output. I will be powering my fridges off this and some emergency power points and things, but some people power their entire homes from the emergency off-grid backup. So it's like it automatically switches over. So if you're in an off-grid property, for example, you would plug it into here because you don't have a grid connection. So you'd plug your whole home into here, and well, you can plug your grid in as well if you have it, but your whole house load if you want to, if you had a big enough inverter. And I believe you can have up to 16 of these inverters in parallel, so that's really cool. So you can actually power your entire house from there, but I won't be doing that for practical reasons because I've also got my 5 kilowatt N-phase system as well, which is on the grid. So yeah, and this is only a 5 kilowatt total inverter. So anyway, yeah, very cool. The flexibility on this thing is incredible. That's why I bought it. Big clunking PV switch there. That'll be in series with the panels, so you don't need an external box. Very nice. And a big, nice, like elevator type on-off button. That's really sweet. And as you can see, it's all undercut here, and it's just all heatsink on the back here. And you can check that out. Whoa, look at that. So that's our mounting bracket that goes on the wall, and then you just lift it and hook it in place. But yeah, there's looks like 2 different heat sinks here, one down here, which is one big solid array in there. That'd be like for where your big MOSFETs are mounted to, and just a more general purpose one, I don't know, might have, or one might be for the inverter, one might be for the battery type system. I don't know. That's why we're going to hopefully tear it apart. So fingers crossed I can actually do it without damaging it. And that's what it looks like on the front. There's a nice big weatherproof access panel here with a big O-ring seal. We'll have a look at that. And a big color LCD, graphical LCD display on here. So it's very nice from a display point of view, and some indicators for your DC string, your AC, your normal. And there's a ton of different configurations you can put this thing in. It's absolutely amazing. I've never seen an inverter like it. Anyway, I won't go through it in detail, but it has all different configuration modes where, you know, a basic mode like this, a basic mode with backup. That's how I'll be using this thing. Even though I don't have a diesel generator, I do actually have the ability to put like a extra micro inverter. Maybe that Hoy Miles one, I might actually experiment with that and put it in. So you can have smart load configurations. Then you can have on generator plus AC couple configurations, on load plus AC couple configurations, on grid plus AC couple configurations, and there's lots of other little tweaks and stuff you can do with. Anyway, you can do a ton of stuff with this. It's just absolutely incredible. It even had something for wind turbines up here. Look at that. There's some connection diagrams, but it does have an installation manual. Didn't come with it though, which is a bit disappointing. Anyway, this one cost me 1,600 Aussie dollary dues from the local supplier, Dual Power. So I'll link them in down below if you want one of these bad boys. So this is incredibly cheap. I got to say, this is probably the best bang per buck inverter on the market. Yes, it is made in China, but Deye pretty big. I'll put in some photos of their factories and whatnot, and they're a pretty big player, but they're not one of the more well-known brands. But just the ability of this to run like tons of different chemistry and type batteries. I'm not locked into any battery configuration. I can even run old 12-volt lead acid batteries if I want. Now, there seems to be some confusion over the name. I call it DI because I think there's a capital D and there's an I in there with the dot. So I think they want us to pronounce it DI. But I've heard it pronounced Deye, all sorts of things like that. But I'm going to call it DI. I think it's correct, but I don't know. Company official, correct me down below. Warranty void is seal broken, huh? Well, let's see if we can get that out. I've done a video. Oh, no, void. There you go. No, I think I voided it. That hasn't worked. My technique of the... No, that's pretty good void sticker. Oops. Okay, if we have a look in the access panel here, and you can see the nice rubber baby buggy bunker seal around the window there. Have to keep this thing tilted. It's a little bit hard, but... there you go. You've got all your basic wiring. There's that PV switch on the side. So these are your MC4 string wiring coming in and then just going out the bottom there. And then that's our clunker power switch on the side. Got a ferrite down there. And those two gigantic screw terminals down there are your battery. So your wiring just comes in there and you screw them down. As I said, I think the spec is 35 square mil or something like that. Then you've got all your various interfaces down here. There's an earth screw terminal block, nice. So you've got your grid, your load, your generator. Then there's various RJ45s around here. So there's an external meter if you want it, an RS485 can. And then we've got some little screw terminals here that you can get a temp sensor. In fact, it comes with a temp sensor that goes into 12-volt lead acid batteries. So if you want to hook those directly on, it all comes with that. A couple of dip switches for various mode and country settings and things like that, I guess. And there's a couple of relays down there associated with that, so can't see a huge amount. That looks like a cutout circuit breaker. That looks like it'll pop up. No, that isn't like an anti-tamper thing on the front. It's too low down for that. Gigantic varistor down there, and can see some big current shunt links down behind that, but can't see a huge amount more. Let's try and open the rest of it. Okay, it looks like this heatsink is screwed internally to this larger heatsink. So I think if I get the outside screws here, I'm hoping this whole thing will just lift off in one side. That's my guess. So anyway, comically long screwdriver time. And let's go. So in theory, if this is designed well, I shouldn't, break any thermal, heatsink connections or anything. It should just hold the case on it. It should pivot out. That's the plan. But I'm assuming that the designers have designed it for a little bit of serviceability, if not assembly. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, if this does fail and they don't honour the warranty, then yeah, definitely thumbs up and comment down below and share this video, because I might need the ad revenue. And I don't know, buy the merch on my store. Buy a multimeter from me, please. EEVblog.store. They've put an access hole here for this screw. That's nice. Okay, I think I got them all out. No, it doesn't want to pop off. Oh, no, unfortunately, it's not going to come off because, look, and this seems to be screwed. As I said, this heatsink here is screwed from the inside, and yet I can't access the inside. So, because there's no front panel, it's like one big case. So, I'm not, damn, I avoided my warranty sticker for no reason. I may not be able to get this apart. Yeah, because this thing needs to be installed very shortly. I don't want to have to damage it. I'm not sure what the deal is. I can get this plastic case off here, but that doesn't help much. Maybe I need to, I'd have to take out all the boards in here to potentially get it something else. I can see another bracket in there, and it's got some screws going in that direction, so might have to get, like, this is not designed for serviceability. Oops, sorry. This might be as big a teardown as we get, which is not really a teardown because I haven't really torn it apart at all, but I've destroyed my warranty void if seal broken sticker. I don't think so. I don't want to have to start taking out everything internally and then trying to figure out how to get that off. There's no other screws. It's one big metal case, but it doesn't seem to lever off the back. Well, it turns out my spidey sense about tearing this thing down was right. I could sort of feel that I had to disconnect all of the cables and things and all the boards in that front section before I could actually pull the whole thing out. So, yeah, sorry, I'm not going to do that for an inverter that's being installed in very shortly. But full credit to Alubi Maintenance Center, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So I'll link that in down below. He's done a teardown video on the 03 LP1. Mine is the 04, but it looks almost identical. So yeah, you can see this heatsink on the back is a little bit different. Mine is like a different molding for that, but all the screws are all in exactly the same place. The case is exactly the same. Inside looks exactly the same. So he's doing a repair on this. So he's got to tear the entire thing down to the board level, and he actually confirms in this video, there's no voice, but with overlays, that yeah, it's really tricky to tear this thing down. You have to really, you know, uncable manage all of, see, he's taken out like the power switch and all the cabling all hooked up to there. So he's had to take all this out before he could actually get in there, and he had to get that board out and everything before he actually was able, look, it's right, and then that board has to be shoved under, right? So yeah, sorry, this is the reason that I didn't tear this thing down. Yeah, my spidey sense told me this was not good. Anyway, it's starting to look very good inside, so I'll link in the full video down below. So there it is, yeah, confirmed. Seems hard to disassemble this inverter for the first time. Yeah, it's just, you've got to take apart all of the stuff on all the wiring on the front end and everything else. Anyway, I'll link in the video, so please watch it if you want to watch the full thing. But what we want to see is like all the cables are labeled, they're heat shrunk, they're terminal, you know, screwed, terminaled, all very nicely. Everything looks very good. But everyone wants to know what the caps are. Nichicons, check it out. Oh, Japanese caps, absolutely fantastic.
What do you mean, Doc? All the best stuff is made in Japan.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, top quality build and construction inside this thing. Nichicon caps, that's the main DC filter cap there. And yeah, look, like bus bar systems installed in here and everything. And look, everything's routed out nicely. Everything's very good. I'm very impressed with the design and construction quality of this thing. Look, everything's cable tied, everything's sheaved, all the cables are sheaved going over here. Yeah, a lot of attention to detail in this, and this is one of the lowest cost inverters on the market. Really is quite something. So thank you very much, Alayubi Maintenance Center, for doing this, and he's got a whole bunch of other videos. Look, there's some MOSFETs on the back. Oh, that's an interesting package, isn't it? Wow, look at that. That's like a dual package. Wow. If you know what MOSFET that is, or what MOSFET pair that is, then I assume they're like a switching, like you've got an integral switching pair and integral package. I don't think I've seen that before, but yeah, anyway, I'll link in his video down below. Excellent, he's got a whole bunch of them on his channel, so thank you very much for that. So if I watched this, I could have kept my warranty void sticker, but yeah, anyway, trappy young players. This top end actually levers off, and look, you can see, very nice attention to detail here. They've got sheaths covering all the wiring going down here, and you can see a whole bunch of caps in there, and on one huge board, and it's got standoffs. The other bottom half doesn't want to come off. It's not good. There's a trick to this. There's a trick to it, unfortunately, which I do not have. So much for the teardown. Yeah, wah. So unfortunately, I don't want to incur the wrath of the Murphy God in doing this just days before I have to get this installed. That would really ruin my installation. So unfortunately, we tried, but it wasn't that easy to get. So that's an embarrassing wimp out attempt at tearing down this thing. I was hoping that it'd just like fall off easy and all the wiring would be on one side and it'd just like lever open like that, for example. And yeah, no, there seems to be something stuck up here perhaps, and there may be maybe no easy way to get this apart, or there could be a simple trick, but I can't seem to find it. So unfortunately, that's the best I can do right now. Yeah, I'm going to officially whip out on that. Bummer. Because I want to see the quality of the caps in there. I don't know. I'll see if I can get a torch under there maybe. Hang on. I thought this was fanless, but don't know if you can see it, but I see a fan. I see a fan down in there, like on an angle, which is kind of weird. I'm not sure what's going on there. There doesn't seem to be any vents. So yeah, that's strange, but there is actually a tiny little fan in there. I thought this was a passive jobby. Anyway, I've taken off the plastic here, and then we can see more of the wiring inside there, and we can see the gen. I thought they were current shunts, but they're not. They're actually just extra load current carrying capacity because they couldn't get enough copper on the PCB there. So they put in the massive jumper links in there to increase the current carrying capacity instead of going to like 12-ounce copper or something absolutely enormous like that. They just put in these big links. That's nice, really nice attention to detail there. So anyway, that goes down to a lower board down there, and everything looks really neat and tidy and professional, so quite happy with that. There's a current transformer down there. Is that the grid transformer? It has an external connection for a grid transformer, so I'm not sure what's going on down there. Yeah, there you go. Should be able to make out the part number on that jobby there. So a little current transformer, that's, yeah, that looks to be the grid side of things. Another couple of big ass relays in there, another big ferrite under there for the gen and the load. You know, like all really nice attention to detail in terms of like heat shrink tubing all over all of these ribbon cables so that they don't accidentally during the assembly process get you know, little burrs on the metalwork here. They don't cut through the cable. So, you know, there's really quite a lot of attention to detail in here. I'm liking the build quality. I really like what I'm seeing. From what I can see anyway so far, so pretty impressed. It's a BC55040. It's got all the requisite ratings and everything, and approvals and stuff. So yeah, that's an overload fuse there, so it'll just pop up and it allows you to reset it there if you really want to. But yeah, I'm really liking what I'm seeing in this. It's really quite nice. And yeah, you can see the D9 interface down in there for the Wi-Fi and external comms as well to plug in. Anyway, that's barely not even a teardown, half-assed teardown of the Deye Sun, whatever, bunch of numbers, inverter, and they come in different. This is the official imported Australian version. You can buy them on AliExpress. I think you can import them direct. I don't know, you probably don't have to change the dip switches, but don't quote me on that. So yeah, $1,600 5kW hybrid inverter with like external generator which supports micro inverters and all the different on-grid, off-grid modes and a ton of stuff. Absolutely incredible. And so I don't know if there's a similar hybrid inverter with all these features on it. So it's, you know, it really is quite something. So anyway, the proof will be in the pudding after I install it and set it up and have it running for a couple of years. But anyway, future videos to come on that. So yeah, I'm completely replacing my old 3kW Sunny Boy system with those 250-watt panels. Got all new panels, and yeah, it's all going to be remounted along with the Enphase system. I'll still be having the 2 split systems, and apparently it has some app which is solarmanpv.com, pro.solarmanpv.com, and that's where you can upload your data to and whatnot. I don't know, but yeah, it looks like a pretty cool bang per buck inverter. So I hope it goes well, fingers crossed, and we'll see this in future videos. Anyway, if you liked that half-assed teardown, give it a thumb sideways, and as always, comment down below. Catch you next time.